Hi guys, welcome to my channel. This is Dianna in the kitchen, and on today's episode we'll be making some honey barbecue pork. Alright, so for the breakdown in the ingredients, we have 4 pounds of pork right here, and in this little bowl we have some salt, some pepper, some smoked paprika, and in this we have some cinnamon, some freshly grated nutmeg, and over here we have some all-purpose seasoning, some ground pimento, and also some mustache. That's a salt-free version. And in this we have about 10 cloves of garlic, some ginger, escellion, onion, and some thyme. And we also have some jerk seasoning, some browning, and some soy sauce. Alright, so before we can season this, we have to make our marinade, and that's what we're about to do right now. Alright, so I'll be making this for dinner, but I want the marinade to penetrate it so much that I can taste every single ounce of flavor. Alright, so I am doing this the day before, well, the night prior. So we'll get about 12 to 16 hours to marinate. Alright, so what we're going to do to our food processor, we're going to add our garlic and ginger, scallions, our onion, as well as our thyme, and we're just going to chop this until it is finely minced. Alright, so now that we have it minced up like this, what we're going to do is just to transfer it to a bowl and combine it with the other ingredients. So the first thing we're going to add to this right now is some jerk seasoning, and I'm using about a half teaspoon because I don't want it to be too spicy. Normally I would add Scotch bonnet pepper to this, but the girls will be having this as well, so I can't afford for it to be too spicy. Alright, so we're just going to add our salt and pepper and paprika, cinnamon and nutmeg, and all our other spices. Alright, so we're just going to give this a quick mix to get everything incorporated. And what we're really doing right now is just making like a wet rub for the pork. Alright, so also going to add some soy sauce, just about a tablespoon, and we'll continue to mix. Alright, so at this point you can go ahead and taste your seasoning. Alright, so tasting, it basically testing for salt to see the salt content is okay or if it needs a little bit more, and also to test to see if there's any overpouring of any ingredient, so that way you can adjust it before you put it on the pork. This is a much better method, I find, than just blending the onions and stuff and adding it to the pork and then adding the dry seasoning. So when you incorporate everything, you can taste exactly what's going on the pork. Alright, so after tasting this, I realized that it needed another teaspoon of salt, or half teaspoon of salt, and another half teaspoon of all-purpose seasoning. So we're just going to add these blend, and then we're just going to pour this over the pork and rub it in. Oh, and since we want the pork to have a little color as well, since we're doing it in the oven, it's not going to get the char from an actual grill. So we're just going to add about a 1/4 teaspoon thereabouts of browning. Alright, so dumping everything on here. Alright, so we're just going to mix this thoroughly to incorporate, and I'm just going to do that and I'll be right back. Alright, so this is still looking a bit white, so what we're going to do is just to add another 1/4 teaspoon of browning and mix to incorporate again. Alright, so this is what we have right now, and all we're going to do is just to wrap it tightly with some cling wrap and put it in the bottom of the refrigerator and just let it stay there and be mellow until we are ready to cook. Alright, so into the fridge she goes. Alright, so it's the following day, and I took the pork from the fridge for the past hour just to bring it up to room temperature. And this step is important because if you should put cold meat or try to cook meat that is extremely cold, what will happen is that it will contract and it will get tough during the cooking process. So I'm just going to put this in a foil lined roasting pan. If you have a disposable one, you can go ahead and use it, but I lined it with foil just to make cleanup easier. Right, so the pan is filled, and what I did, for example, where you see the lean portion of the meat, I placed those to the center. So the ones with the skin will give them more moisture. Alright, so that way it does not dry out. And what we're going to do right now is just cover with a foil like so. And we're going to place it in a 300-degree oven for ½ hour. So we're going to check it at the ½ hour mark, and while that's going, we'll be working on our sauce. So I'll see you guys in about 30 minutes. To make our sauce, what we're going to need is some ketchup, some brown sugar, smoked paprika, cayenne pepper, some chili sauce, lemon juice, and of course our honey. And we also have some honey mustard over here. You can use Dijon mustard if you choose, or any other mustard you like. Alright, and all we're going to do is just combine all the ingredients. So right now I'm adding the cayenne pepper and the smoked paprika, and we're going to give this a quick mix. Oh, and I forgot to mention as well that we're going to need some soy sauce. So the next thing we're going to add is the mustard. I will need maybe about a tablespoon thereabout. Alright, that's enough. We add in our chili. Alright, I'm just switching over to a whisk just to make my life easier. And we're going to continue mixing until all the sugar granules have been dissolved. Alright, so the next thing we're going to add is our lemon juice and our honey. And this is sliding from the bowl pretty easily because I added some vegetable spray prior. So that's a quick tip if you're baking or using honey. And we're just going to add about 2 tablespoons of soy sauce and continue to mix until everything is incorporated. Alright, so that's completely mixed, but I just tasted it and I realized that it needed to be balanced out a little bit. So I'm adding a teaspoon of regular white vinegar. You can choose to heat this up if you want to, bring it to a boil, but I won't be doing that today because it's going to continue cooking in the oven once it goes on the pork. So I'm just going to put this aside, leave it to rest until the half an hour has elapsed. Alright, so this is after half hour in the oven and it's pretty much cooked. It's not cooked all the way through, but the skin is soft and there's a lot of juice. So this is very juicy right now. Yes. Alright, so you can choose to pour this liquid off, but I'm not going to pour it off. What I'm going to do is just to take each piece and I am going to dip it in the sauce and just return it, because once this is uncovered, it's not going to steam up anymore. So all this liquid will be reduced. Alright, so I'm just going to take pieces like so and we're just going to dip, ensuring that it is properly coated, and then we put it back. Alright, just repeating the same process for each side. And whatever fat and oil that's in the liquid, we can always get rid of that a later on from now. Alright, so I'm just going to repeat this process until everything is coated. Alright, so we're finished, and what we're going to do right now is just to put it back in the oven, uncovered this time, for an additional 30 minutes. But we're going to put it on the lower rack this time. So by then, the sauce will be reduced drastically and everything will be looking lovely. Alright, so see you guys in another 30 minutes. Alright guys, so this is it. After half an hour, the sauce has been reduced and everything is looking amazing right now. So I'm just going to cover this with the foil and just let it chill out before I serve. So if you guys are curious as to what I'll be having the pork with, I have some rice and peas going over here. You guys can always let me know if you want to see a tutorial on this. I have some steamed veg, also have some cabbage going on another flame, and I have some fried chicken, and I also have another video tutorial coming out for this. Alright, so stay tuned. Once everything has come together, I'm going to plate up and serve and let you guys see exactly what my meal will be looking like. Alright, there you have it guys. Our honey barbecue pork is complete. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like, also comment, share it with a friend, and subscribe. And don't forget to click that notification bell so you get notified every time I post a new video. Until next time, this is Dianna in the kitchen. Thank you so much for watching.